Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, April 14, 2023. Government is asserting that it will not allow deep-sea mining until the relevant regulatory framework, which includes protection of the marine environment, is created. The update came from Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing. The minister was responding to concerns about potential environmental issues if the practice should be pursued through the International Seabed Authority.
That work is work which is underway, but we are not at all clear on when those regulations are likely to be finalized. So this is not something which is imminent, and we'd like people to understand that as well. Very deep technical work is being undertaken to make sure that the regulations will protect our marine environment. So this is work that continues.
Deep-sea mining involves extracting and excavating mineral deposits from the seabed at ocean depths greater than 200 meters. The deep seabed covers roughly 2/3 of the total seafloor. Minister Johnson-Smith says protection of Jamaica's marine environment is of paramount importance. She points out that within the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, the area for deep-sea mining is way beyond the national jurisdiction of any country.
There are geographically defined areas that are beyond the 227 square kilometers that surround every country as their economic, their EEZ. So they are way beyond not only Jamaica's waters, Jamaica's coast, Jamaica's deep sea bed, but beyond that of any country.
Several roadways across Westmoreland are slated to be repaired and rehabilitated. Key among these will be the main thoroughfare in the community of St. Paul's, for which approximately $290 million has been allocated. In addition, Minister with Responsibility for Works, Everald Warmington, says approximately $20 million has been allocated for repairs in the Goodens River District. The minister was giving an update after a tour of several roadways that need repair. They include Grange Hill to Glasgow, Little London to Moreland Hill, Little Bay to Salmon Point, Retreat to Sheffield, and Whitehall in Negril.
These are areas that need to be addressed urgently, and that Retreat, we have flooding, we need to look at that to see if we can put a new box culvert in so that we can have a proper flow of flood waters and whatever when we do have rains and whatever. So I'm convinced that being here, the expenditure is necessary, worthy, and there are reasons to do it.
Mr. Warmington was accompanied by representatives of the National Works Agency and members of Parliament. He advised that the scope of works would include asphalting, patching, and drainage improvement. The NIDS project is entering a new phase with 300 Jamaican volunteers set to test the National Identification Card enrollment and issuance processes. The Office of the Prime Minister is reporting that the target quota was exceeded within 24 hours of inviting volunteers to register for participation at nidsfax.com on April 4. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, has expressed appreciation for the public's enthusiasm and interest in the new National Identification Card. The post-technical pilot phase is the final step before the establishment of the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, which will manage the National Identification Services. The project executing unit and the PBS consortium have successfully integrated various systems, such as pre- and online enrollment, queue management, and identity management. The system is now able to personalize national identification cards with digital certificates as one of the final layers of protection for card holders. The Office of the Prime Minister is also making arrangements to establish the governance and support structures for the NIRA and the National Identification and Registration Inspectorate. Information Minister Robert Morgan is advising security guards who have contract-related concerns to formally approach the Labour Ministry to protect their rights. This comes in the wake of reports that certain security firms forced guards to sign employment contracts waiving their entitlement to benefits after years of service. Minister Morgan stresses that anyone who wants to provide a service to the Jamaican government must abide by the Supreme Court ruling for companies to end the practice of engaging security guards as contract workers and regard them as employees with all rights and privileges that apply.
Security guard firms would be required to make statutory deductions where applicable and guarantee payment for overtime work in accordance with the laws and payments of overtime wages.
The Information Minister was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press conference at Jamaica House. And finally, the communities of Treasure Beach and Mountainside in St. Elizabeth now have access to greater opportunities with the installation of free Wi-Fi service. The Wi-Fi hotspots were recently commissioned by the Universal Service Fund, USF, as part of government's commitment to increasing internet access and digital reach island-wide. Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Floyd Green, welcomed the service and invited residents at Billy's Bay in Treasure Beach to use the internet as a teaching tool.
Let us leverage the provision of this public good and let us set up some classes that we can help our young people get some of the skills that they need. Almost anything we can find on the internet, we can help them to be better versions of themselves, and we must use it for that purpose.
He also encouraged the young people to participate in the USF's Technology Advancement Program, TAP, which offers certification in technology-related fields. Meanwhile, at the Mountainside ceremony, Mayor of Black River, Councillor Derek Sangster, highlighted the importance of the undertaking, saying Wi-Fi was no longer a luxury but a necessity.
So the importance, the vital necessity of Wi-Fi cannot be underscored, and we in Mountainside here are grateful.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.